in order to do ultrasonic cleaning, you'll need to use some sort of cleaning agent. So today we're going to use Hornady One-Shot Sonic Clean solution. And an important note, they do make a few different types of cleaners. One is for gun parts, one is for brass. This is for brass. As with all things firearms related, one thing that's very important is to read the directions. So, for the Hornady One-Shot Sonic Clean solution, it recommends diluting at 40 parts water to 1 part solution. That works out to be a ½ ounce of solution for every 20 ounces of distilled water. It says tap water can be used. I live in Colorado. Tap water is very good here, very low mineral content, so it's actually a pretty good option. It does say that distilled water will improve the cleaning action and reduce water spots, and we all know we want our brass shiny, so if you're really picky, use distilled water. One of the peculiarities about ultrasonic cleaning is it works a lot better if the solution is hot. So make sure when you purchase an ultrasonic cleaner that you get one that has a heater in it, rather than just using room temperature water or having to boil it first. Ultrasonic cleaning works because water and fluids don't compress. No matter how hard you squeeze them, they don't get any smaller. So when you impart force to the solution, it's going to transfer that force directly to the brass, as long as there's no gas, there's no vapor in the solution. So by degassing it, it essentially just runs it at an alternating cycle, which tends to help make the bubbles come out of it. So once it's degassed, then we can add our brass and begin our cleaning. So why do we clean our cases? It's not just to make them look pretty. If you look closely, you'll notice that inside the neck of the case, you can actually see some deposits. Those are made up of a combination of things, but primarily that is residue from the burned gunpowder. There's probably also going to be some leftover burned case lubricant, and probably a little bit of lead or copper fouling in there as well. But mostly, it's just burned powder and a little bit of dirt. So in order to have accurate ammunition, the key is all about consistency. To reload them as consistently as possible, they all need to be equally clean. And the only way to do that is to clean them all equally. Since I've put 120 ounces of water into the ultrasonic cleaning basin, if we divide 120 ounces by 40 for the 40-to-1 ratio, that means we need to add about 3 ounces of cleaning solution to our basin. Now that our cleaning solution has neared its final operating temperature of 140 degrees, we're almost up to 120 now, we're going to go ahead and degas the solution. So I'm going to do that by changing my modes, by pushing the function switch, and it's going to set it on 5 minutes, and I'm going to close this because it makes a pretty horrendous noise while it works. Now that the solution is done degassing, we'll go ahead and put our brass in. And with the brass in, we're going to introduce a lot of air bubbles, so we're going to want to degas it one more time. So we're going to add the brass, and then degas it one last time. So to help get some of the bubbles out, we're going to go ahead and shake a little bit. Then close the top and run one more degassing cycle. With the solution degassed both before and after we've added the brass, let's give the brass a good shake to get out any remaining bubbles, and go ahead and run it on a full cleaning cycle of about 25 minutes. With the cleaning cycle over, we're going to go ahead and drain all of the solution out, and then we'll use several quarts of clean water to rinse out the rest of the remaining solution. Now to get the last little bit of solution out of the cases before we dry them off, I'm just going to use some water and rinse them off. Now to be extra sure that we've got all of the cleaning solution out, we're going to rinse them all off one last time. Just set them aside on a paper towel. While we're doing that, I have the oven preheating on about 175 degrees. So once these are all cleaned out and rinsed out so that there's no traces of solution or dirt left from the cleaning process, I'm just going to put them in a Pyrex flame-resistant glass baking dish and heat them up in the oven for about an hour or so. And then they will be clean and dry and ready for the next step in our process. So spread the brass out so that it can heat evenly, and then throw it in the oven for an hour. Our cases are now clean. Next up, we'll be removing the primers while we full-length size our cases.